Okay, today we are playing a game on King's Row. The average SR of this game was 2,100, and we will be playing Genji on attack and Soldier 76 on defense. And our current team composition is Orisa, Genji, Widowmaker, Junkrat, Bastion, and Lucio. I was always taught that if you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all, so we're just gonna start the game. Oh, we're on the console today. Nah, he remembered. So consider yourself forewarned. So we're just gonna start the game. So, our team is, of course, terrible, so we're going to have to try pretty hard to actually capture the checkpoint, and the enemy team are also going to have to help us out a little bit. Soldier is way ahead of that already. He's already helping us out. Now, we're sitting up here, not really doing very much, honestly. It probably feels really dramatic, you know, the night sky sitting on top of the rooftops throwing shurikens down, but, like, not being terribly productive up there, honestly. But it's okay, half their team are dead now. So, even though we weren't really doing very much up there, we didn't actually have to do very much. Because they just sort of died, miraculously enough. I always tell you, it doesn't matter how bad your team is. The enemy team can always be worse. Always. But my team is terrible. No, but they can always be worse. There's always a bigger fish. So we shouldn't have dashed over here, because we're unlikely to get our dash refunded. And by unlikely, I mean there's like no way that we get our dash refunded. And usually when you dash in and you can't get your the refund on the dash, you tend to die as a result. Fortunately, nothing actually very scary standing over here at the time. It was a Soldier and a Mercy, but you don't usually want to be dashing through people unless you're pretty certain that you're going to kill somebody. And I'm not saying like the dash has to kill someone, but if you're going to be dashing in, you want to be pretty sure you're going to kill them very quickly. Or get the refund very quickly. You don't necessarily have to kill them, they just have to die. And you have to have touched them. So, they're not very scary, people standing in front of us right now. There isn't really very much for us to do, in all honesty. Like, basically all we have to do right now is sit around and try to pick off people when they're low health, and it's going pretty well, all things considered, you know. I remind you, our only healer is Lucio right now. You know, it's going okay, all things considered. So, the reason to use the fan shurikens is because you can burst somebody with those, right? Because if you're right next to somebody, and all three shurikens hit them, that's just burst, damn. If you're far away, yeah, it's easier to hit them, but you're only hitting them with one shuriken, so it's not actually very impactful. The idea is if you're far away, you just do the line. You do the fan when you're actually going to hit somebody with all three shurikens, because the point is that that's a big spike of damage. Whereas the left click, it's more precise, but it takes longer, because they all get thrown out one by one. So, if you're that far away that, like, yeah, you'll hit them with one shuriken, but the idea is just that you get better at hitting them with the line, rather than just, like, fanning and hoping it hits them. So we have Dragon Blade. They're all dead right now, so we don't actually have to worry about using Dragon Blade currently. Don't worry, this game isn't as one-sided as it appears like it's going to be. Amazingly enough. Could you have guessed that we were ever actually going to capture the first checkpoint with that team composition, let alone get to the third checkpoint with 5 minutes to spare? So we're drawing out the blade, and we're going to use it to kill Mercy, as one traditionally does. And we, very low health, get hung up on the geometry, very awkward. It's alright, we've managed to scuttle away. It wasn't as clean as it could have been, but we killed Mercy and we killed Soldier, so that's the important thing. We killed the Mercy, that's the really important thing, honestly. So most of our team are dead right now, actually. D.Va killed 2 people with their bomb, and now the rest of them are getting picked off, so we want to be leaving right now. We do want to keep trying to poke at them as much as possible, because we want to try and build up another Dragon Blade as quickly as possible, because that's sort of the reason to play Genji, really, is you are trying to get to Dragon Blade as quickly as possible, because Dragon Blade is better than Genji is. And the thing, Genji's hard to kill, he's a very squirrely individual, so you can poke in some more ridiculous locations and get away with it. Compared to some heroes, you know. Like, Soldier can't poke from very many ridiculous locations. So, we dash through the Mercy while she's at full HP, which is not ideal, because again, we're unlikely to kill her. Now, us not getting the refund on the dash right here doesn't really matter, because we're inside our own team right now more than anything else. But the thing is that if you dash before Mercy has used GA, she can just leave, right? That's why if you're using Dragon Blade explicitly to kill Mercy, you dash up to Mercy, draw the Dragon Blade, she GAs away, but then you follow her with the reset from drawing the Dragon Blade. So, if Mercy hasn't GA'd yet, you don't really want to dash right up to her, because she can just sort of swoop away. We were also, like, right next to her at the time, so I'm pretty sure the dash only went, like, half the length, because we were so close to her anyway. So, just shoot the Mercy. Well, Genji doesn't really shoot, does he? You know, just hit the Mercy first before dashing after her, basically. So she's really low, but going into her team right now, so we can't really, like, dash after her and expect to actually kill her. So now, Lucio's used Sound Barrier. Unfortunately, we don't quite have Dragon Blade yet, which is very upsetting. If we were poking a little bit more efficiently, we could already have the Dragon Blade, because we basically do have it, we just don't quite have it. And it's taken us a while to get the teleporter, but we got the teleporter. She shouldn't have really put down a teleporter. Like, she should have just put down a shield generator, honestly, but I've accidentally muted the video. So we've got Dragon Blade now, and we're going to pull it out right on Mercy. Oh god, Soldier's here, it's okay, we got him. He used Tac Visor as well, so we managed to kill his Visor at the same time. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out. Again, we killed Mercy, and we killed Soldier, who was using Tac Visor. So as far as I'm concerned, we did our job. It's just, have you seen our team? Really, you know. And honestly, we've gotten it basically to the end. I will count that as a smashing success for a team that only had Lucio as its healer. That's the thing you pick on? The fact only Lucio's there? Yes. There's a lot of things, but that's honestly the most egregious part. So, now we're just trying to build up Dragon Blade again. We're also waiting for our team to regroup, but we want to be trying to build up Dragon Blade. They have a Pharah now. Genji's actually pretty good at killing Pharah, because you can dash through the Pharah and do basically guaranteed damage to her, because it's very easy to hit Pharah when your projectile is your entire body. So, Genji's actually pretty good against Pharah. You can also, like, there's a lot of places where you can kind of just, like, get up eye level with the Pharah and just, like, throw shurikens at her as well. He's not, you know, he's no Widowmaker who's gonna kill her in one shot, but Genji is better than most people give him credit for against a Pharah. So, again, we want to just basically be poking right now, just trying to build up Dragon Blade. It's, very difficult, because as soon as we take any damage, we have to immediately retreat away, because our only healer is Lucio. It's less than ideal. I feel obligated to say it, that, like, really you should change to Mercy in this situation, because our team has a massive overabundance of DPS heroes. And, Mercy is really strong. And if one team has a Mercy and the other team doesn't have a Mercy, they are just at an objective disadvantage. So, you should change to a healer in this situation. I mean, things have gone better than expected, so I guess it's all worked out. But, if we're actually, the thing that would be best for your team is that you change heroes. Because we got, oh boy, we got a lot of DPS heroes right now. So, we've got Dragon Blade now. We're only going to get one Dragon Blade. We've only got one fight left in us at this point, because we got 30 seconds left on the clock. So, this last Dragon Blade's going to have to be pretty good. Orisa also has the Bongo. Junkrat just sent in the Tire, and that killed 2 people. So now, Pharah almost killed herself, but not quite. We hesitated to draw the sword, which, honestly, we should have just drawn the sword sooner. Then, unfortunately, couldn't get back up to those pesky sky people. I get the idea, we wanted Pharah to kill herself on the deflect, but, like, just, like, dash through, draw the sword, cut, dash back up, cut. probably really hard to do that on a console. Now that I've thought about all of that, I'm like, that's probably a little bit much to ask for the console. Because you can do that on the PC, but it's easier with a mouse because it's easier to turn, basically. So most of our team are dead, honestly. It's not, we're changing the Tracer. Widowmaker just did that. You know, it's low gold on the console, so we've got a 4 DPS squad, one of which is Bastion over here. You know, we've got some pretty special teammates. It's okay. We got it basically to the end, which is more than we had any right to do. So our only healer is now Anna, unless the other person also picks a healer. Come on. Come on, person. What you gonna pick? Who's this coming? Oh, is that Mercy? Oh my goodness, they picked Mercy. What a time to be alive. So we got Mercy and Anna. The sad thing here is that they picked Anna. Oh god, of all the healers they could have picked. I just don't really see the appeal in playing Anna. Like, she's surprisingly popular still, considering how bad she is, and I'm just like, why do you want to do this to yourself more than anything else? Like, you can't possibly be having a good time playing Anna, because you just spend the whole game getting bullied, and you basically only exist to nano boost other people's ultimates. Only 2 people, really. Like, you can't possibly actually be having fun as Anna. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, so we're playing Soldier now. So, ironically, this would have been better on the last round as well, because Soldier has a healing ability. So we did just sort of stand there and watch that rocket come the entire way towards us, and then hit us right in the skull. Try not to stand perfectly still, like, at any point in time. And even just, like, this juking that we're doing right now isn't really great, because we're not really moving. Because you don't want to take, like, big extended arcs when you're strafing, because then that's, like, really predictable, because they can just sort of track you. So you do want it to be, like, short and jaggy, or short and sharp, but you do have to actually strafe enough that you're actually moving a little bit as well, because you can take it too far the other way where you're, like, not really moving around anymore. There's a balance to be struck. So both our healers are dead, so we're fucked. We're also now losing more people, as one typically does when both their healers are dead. Like, you just look over at the kill feed and see Junkrat killed Anna and Mercy, and you're like, we're gonna lose this checkpoint. That's just how it is. Overwatch is a remarkably simple game sometimes, and, yeah, when you've got no healers, you lose the fight. It's just how it is. You'll note that we didn't really have a healer last time, and we won several fights, though, so at the same time, Overwatch is really inconsistent. So we're way too close right now. Way too close. Soldier wants to be really far away from people, and we just ran, like, right up to them. So we've got a Torbjorn now. That's very exciting. Bastion actually changed to Reaper. I admire that he changed off Bastion, but could he have not chosen a better hero to pick right now? Because Reaper's not really very good against Pharah and Junkrat. You know, he's not ideal, I would say. So, try not to get into a fight in the alleyway, because, like, Soldier doesn't like fighting in confined locations like that. In general, I'm not a super huge fan of Soldier on King's Row, because the map is relatively confined. There's very little high ground you can take advantage of, and there are not even that many large lines of sight. I'm of the opinion that McCree is way better on King's Row, because he's better at fighting people close up, basically. And he can defend people from flankers, which are quite common on King's Row. And then there's the other thing that's like, just like, we're using TAC Visor right now, and we're behind the enemy team, and they haven't really noticed that we're here yet, which is ordinarily a sign that we're gonna kill some fools. But, like, the way King's Row is, it's just really hard to actually kill people with TAC Visor on this map, because, like, they just disappear around so many corners, right? Like, there's corners fucking everywhere, and we're behind them right now, so they have less options, but they can still go that way. They can still hide behind the payload. They can go into the subway, because the payload's actually blocking the door a little bit, and you can go down the hill and crouch, and Soldier can't see you. Then go around that corner. Granted, that's in towards their team, so they don't really want to do that. If they're closer down here, they can go in there, they can go over there, they can stand underneath us and kind of force us to jump down. And if we're looking straight at them, they can just, like, and if we're just looking at them as they come towards us, they can just, like, go back around the corner they were pushing in through. You know, plus all the other options that they have as well. It's just really hard to kill people with TAC Visor on this map, because there's just so many places for people to go out of the way. Well, can't you say the same thing about High Noon? Yes, Strawman, you can say the same thing about High Noon. But High Noon is also used as a zoning ultimate, whereas TAC Visor is a I'm going to kill your whole team now ultimate. So you're not so sad if you just spend 6 seconds zoning people with McCree, because that happens. It's also slightly easier to pick people off with it because it closes in really tight, really quickly, especially if they're not full health at the time. So McCree actually has a slightly better chance of killing them in most situations. Plus, you can just break barriers with High Noon as well, because imagine they're coming at you with an Orisa or a Reinhardt. You can just break the barrier with Deadeye. You can't do that with TAC Visor. So, yeah, you can say the same thing about Deadeye, but it's better on this map still. You're not as sad to use it for zoning, really. And McCree's just better at fighting in confined locations. Soldier likes to abuse very long sightlines, and there aren't very many of those except the 3rd checkpoint, but even then, not fantastic, really. Anyway, so we're behind them right now. Fortunately, they still never really figured out where we were, and they just kind of hung out in the street. D.Va was just, like, running backwards into us, like, I don't understand, where am I getting shot from? Granted, this is the console, so turning around is more of an endeavor to actually check places, you know. Whereas if you're on PC, you can just go, like, and now I'm looking behind me. So, we shouldn't be doing what we're doing right. We don't want to fight in this alleyway still as Soldier, because this is, like, not what we like to be in. Soldier hates fighting people who are right on top of him. It's where he's at his weakest, so we really don't want to be getting into this scuffle over here. And we've been playing this very extended cat-and-mouse game with the other Soldier. Here comes Junkrat. We want to get out of there as soon as possible. So I'm like, that high ground is like the best you get for the first 2 checkpoints, really. And it's not very good, because they can just kind of come up there and start fighting you, you know? Anyway, so we just got a fucking lot of ult charge off of Roadhog right there, as well as putting the Fear of God into him. It was very upsetting, isn't it? Only killed Torbjorn's turret. The really upsetting part would be if it was only a level 1 turret. Also, that's upsetting right there, right? It's always funny when Mercy kills Pharah, because it's very counterintuitive. I also always find it funny when Mercy kills Genji, because there's something very poetic about that, you know? I always imagine Mercy being like, I created you, Genji, I can destroy you as well. Anyway, so Roadhog's using the Rudy Tooty Whiz Bang Shooty, so we kind of just get to kill him. This is a fantastic team to play Soldier against, though, because, like, they have the 2 biggest ult battery tanks in the business. They've got Roadhog and they've got D.Va. We can just farm those all game and have a great time just using our ultimate over and over again, basically. And as we've seen, they aren't the greatest at anticipating a flank is coming from Soldier, of all people. Soldier is also not very good at flanking, I'll say. We've pulled that maneuver a couple of times. It's not really what Soldier's very good at. We haven't gotten punished for it in this situation, but that doesn't mean it's a good play still. It just means they aren't good enough to punish us, either. Remember, the enemy team can always be worse. But I'm in Elo Hell. No. That's the thing about Elo Hell, though, right? It goes both ways. If you're in Elo Hell, they are also in Elo Hell. Their team can still be worse than your team. Also, every SR is Elo Hell. Don't worry about it. Even Grandmaster, even fucking top 500, dog. Get out of everywhere. So, anyway. we're trying to get this far right now, and we're having a bit of trouble. This is like the pretty good high ground as well, but it's very hard to actually get control of that area, I find, because usually by this point the enemy team is already getting control of the area. So we shouldn't be over here. We should have just left, like they were going to capture that checkpoint, and now we have to like try and run past them, which doesn't really work out. We should have left rather than going back up there again, because they were going to capture that checkpoint. It's just how it was. So we have a lot of ultimates, and we almost have our ultimate again, plus they have 2 ult battery tanks, so we should hopefully be able to kill out some of their momentum. They also, none of them were pushing the payload for a little bit there, because, you know, they're getting very excited right now. So, this is not a not bad location for Soldier. Like, this is pretty much the best spot on the map as far as Soldier's concerned, really. It's a very slight high ground and a fairly long line of sight. So we got TAC Visor. We're just going to use TAC Visor right now because, I mean, it almost looks like we've won the fight, but it also doesn't quite look like we've won the fight at the same time, honestly, so I would have also used it. I'm looking at it like, probably didn't need to use it, but then I'm also like, but the fight wasn't going, like, fantastically either. And, like, we can farm their tanks still for ult charge, because they still have 2 big ol' ult batteries, you know. Oh, Roadhog and D.Va. It's just free money, honestly. So, Junkrat's currently going fucking in. Like, do you see this Australian man over here? He's out of his mind. He's the Australian one, right? Because Roadhog or Junkrat is from New Zealand. I'm pretty sure Roadhog is from New Zealand. Mako is from New Zealand. His actual name is Mako. But look, this Australian man's lost his fucking mind. He doesn't know where he is. He's come in his full fucking summer beach gear, but he's in the middle of fucking London right now, so he isn't gonna find a beach anywhere. He's very confused right now. He doesn't understand why it's cold and his nipples are hard. Like, everybody's got a similar accent, but it's a little bit... He's very confused. He doesn't know where he is, so he's just coming in here like, excuse me, do you know where the nearest barbecue is? And Lucio, of all people, is the one that's put a stop to his reign of terror. So we just got hooked and killed right there. Don't get hooked and killed. That's how I got to Masters. I don't get hooked and killed. Much. So, fight's not exactly going well. Mercy just died out here. We've almost got TAC Visor, so that's cool. You know, we can try and use that to swing the fight around. Oh no, he's also using TAC Visor right now. It's okay, we can just kind of hide out of the way. We can get a few shots in on him as well. Did we have Helix Rocket and we just, like, held on to it right there? Come on, YouTube, you can do it. We could have fired it, like, slightly sooner right there and maybe gotten the kill with it as well. We've almost got TAC Visor, though, and he's used his TAC Visor, so we're gonna use it pretty soon. We shouldn't have jumped down off of there, because we're gonna use TAC Visor in the near future, and it's not unimaginable we use it during this fight, in which case we would want to still be on that little slight incline, so we can actually have a decent line of sight at people. It's okay, we won the fight anyway. Reaper span on them. Do you remember we had a Reaper? I forgot we had a Reaper. And magically he got a kill, though, so I guess he's been in the game this entire time, I guess, because he got used it with Death Blossom as well, so, like, he's apparently been here. So, they've only got 1 push left. We got TAC Visor. I think a few other people just had their ultimates as well. Yes, Mercy and Orisa have also got their ultimates, which would honestly be enough. We're going to use TAC Visor right now. We use it, like, a little early, but not nitpicking at that point. Unfortunately, it is King's Row, and you notice how they can all just immediately scuttle out of line of sight with TAC Visor, because there's so many places for them to go out of the way. In the room, back around the boxes, back the way they came, behind the payload. And it's just very scary for us to advance into their team. So Roadhog's been up to some shit. He wasn't allowed to do that, but he did it. He didn't really get away with it, but he did it. So their Mercy is using Valkyrie. Our Mercy just died. That's really bad. Because, Valkyrie is I would like to win this team fight now, ultimate, at least currently. Oh look, here comes Reinhardt. They should have had that all game. We shouldn't be in this room right now, like we should definitely be leaving long before this point, because they are all getting back right now, and we want to be far away from them. We shouldn't even really be this close. Like, alright, maybe you put the biotic field under your front line, because, like, that's actually pretty good, but then just, like, get further away, because you don't want to be, like, close to these people. We're currently, like, don't get too into it. Don't, like, go around this way, because right now we just need to be doing damage. You're better off just getting up onto, like, one of these areas and just, like, trying to do as much damage as possible. We're starting to try and, like, go around the side again. We haven't got time to go around the side right now. So we run up. Team fight's starting to get lost. Their soldiers using tac visor. Their Junkrat's using the tire. It's pretty bad. Mercy's fucking dead. We lose the game. How tragic. We didn't deserve to get as close as we got. Because that first round, we didn't deserve to capture the first checkpoint, but we did. Miraculously enough. Because the enemy team can always be worse. Yes. Prodigy Rex? Prodigy Rex X. Oh no, Bastion. Oh no. Oh. Very sad. So, honestly, the biggest thing that just stands out in this game is that, like, we should have changed heroes, really. Like, in the first round, we should have definitely not still been playing a DPS. We should have changed to a support, ideally Mercy, but, like, we had 4 DPS, a Lucio, and a Narissa. Like, we should have changed during that round. Then, like, we were standing too close to people as Soldier quite frequently, doing a lot of flanking. Like, we didn't get punished for the flanking, but we should have been. we didn't get punished when we should have been. Like, really, we should have just changed that first round, though. But, like, gameplay-wise, as Genji, don't do the fan so much unless you're, like, right up on top of someone trying to kill them. Don't dash through people unless you're pretty confident you're gonna get a reset, because otherwise you're gonna die. More than likely gonna die, you know. Obviously you don't always die, but you're more likely to die. Honestly, better than your average gold Genji or Soldier, especially for the console as well. Better than your average gold player, so... You know, what was it perfect? No, of fucking course not. I'm Masters, and I still love pushing the shift key when I'm playing Reinhardt, because I just like to pin people, because it feels good. Nobody's perfect, but it was better than your average gold Genji and Soldier, so, keep grinding, and you'll probably climb, honestly. It's an unfortunate fact of life with playing any competitive video game, is that, unfortunately, it's more of a marathon than it is a sprint to actually climb the ladder. So, better than that's a lot of fucking healing. I didn't actually see that. That's a lot of objective time as well, to be fair, but no, like, that's a lot of healing. So anyway, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.